Hello everyone, a very good morning to everyone. I welcome you all to this webinar on the occasion of World Food Safety Day. And I would like to introduce our panel to the members participating in this webinar. So let me first introduce the first panelist for the day. He's Dr. Raveendran Malik, who is an ex-Joint Director Research, National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal, which we all know is country's premier institute for dairy research and is presently ICR Professor Emeritus. Dr. Malik had his master's and PhD degrees both in dairy microbiology from NDRI Karnal and postdoc from Federal Dairy Research Center, Kiel, Germany. He has worked in the areas of microbial enzymes, metabolites of lactic acid bacteria, bacteriocins, and their application in food safety and biopreservation. He has published over 127 research papers or review articles in journals of repute, authored 2 books, many book chapters, and manuals. He also has, to his credit, 3 patents. Besides having more than 30 institutional and externally funded research projects such as DBT, DST, NDDB, World Bank, MOFPI, etc., Dr. Malik has guided around 16 MSc and 15 PhD scholars. He is a proud recipient of several awards, honors, and overseas fellowships, is an elected Fellow of National Academy of Dairy Sciences, Fellow Society for Applied Biotechnology, Fellow Indian Society of Veterinary Pharmacology and Toxicology. Dr. Malik is presently also the chairman of FSSAI panel on milk and milk products and member scientific committee FSSAI New Delhi. The second panelist for the day is Chef Prasad Maitrani. He has done his hospitality degree from IHM Hyderabad, done his culinary specialization from Taj Management Training Program, and is also certified in ISO 22000 certification in hotel hygiene and documentation from Bureau Veritas. He has worked in renowned brands like Leela Palace Hotel and Resorts, Bangalore, Starwood Hotel and Resorts Worldwide West in Pune, Grand Hyatt, Goa. Chef Prasad is presently the executive chef at Fairmont Hotels and Resorts, Jaipur. So the third panelist for the day is Miss Ritvika Rao, who is the youngest in the panel today, but I believe she will have a very important insights and inputs for the webinar. Ritvika has been a gold medalist in her engineering, and she has worked in projects like 10% loss reduction in cattle feed in Nestle, rework losses on Nestle Munchline, assessment of food safety risk in process area at Coca-Cola, and presently she is working as product specialist in the infant feed formula plant Nestle India, where she is involved with developing different product lines as per the consumer demand in the market. And the last one is me myself. So for most of the people who are the participants today in the webinar already know me, but for those I can see there are many who have not been from the academic field or from the field where I have been associated for so many years are also participants here. So let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Maniji Singh. I have done my MSc in food biotechnology, PhD in food science, and I'm net qualified in basic dairy sciences. I am also ISO 22 FSMS certified and HACCP certified. All through these years of my career, I have been associated with various organizations where I have been teaching BTech Food Tech, BTech Dairy Technology, MSc Biotechnology, MSc Food Technology, various degrees. So I have been associated in Maharana Pratap University of Agriculture and Technology, Udaipur. I have been associated with ICR New Delhi, and I have also worked in IIS University, Jaipur. And now I am also planning to get into the field of food safety training and consultation. So I welcome all my esteemed panelists for the webinar today and welcome you all. Let us begin with the session now.
Go to the vendor site and see whether the raw material they are producing is safe or not for consumption. If I come for the processed part, we go for the good manufacturing practices. We go for hazard analysis and critical control point, which is popularly known as HACCP. We have OPRPs and critical control points in place. If I talk about the people around, every people, it's very much important that the people associated are very much disciplined. And for that, we go with good manufacturing practices. For example, uniform is very much compulsory to go inside the plant. We have to hand wash and go inside the plant. No jewelry policy so that there is no foreign body that goes. If I talk about contamination also, we go with physical, chemical, biological contamination. Along with that, we have nutritional contamination as well. We cannot exceed the nutrition components, we cannot decrease the nutritional components. The requirement of the individual should be fulfilled. And other than that, allergen is one of the aspects we have to take care of. If I talk about the nutrition itself, people are gluten intolerant, so we have two different lines where we produce gluten products and where we produce non-gluten products. Uh, so this is how, like in general, I can assure that yes, everyone in the plant can assure that we are producing the safe food, and it's like from packaging material to raw material to the process to the quality monitoring scheme, and every point we take a note that quality is controlled. If we know the difference between quality control and quality assurance, quality control is related to the product and assurance is to the entire process. So for every product, as per the requirement, as per the regulatory requirement, and as per the industrial norms itself, we go with the stringent norms, and we try to fulfill as much as we can, and like pro- provide the food which is safe for the consumers.
Uh,
Oh, I'm
Ritvika,
sorry,
I
I
would
was
like
not,
to.
I was on mute. I'm sorry. So let us welcome Chef Prasad Metrani. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the webinar.
Yeah, hi everyone. Very good afternoon, and it's an absolute pleasure to join this with seniors like Mr. Malik and Ritika, who is one of the leading in the industry. So thank you so much, and Dr. Malik, thank you for giving me this opportunity for me to join on this platform.
So I believe
Welcome, Dr. Malik.
you have missed the introduction part, Chef. So let me just again introduce you with our esteemed panel. This is Dr. Malik. This is Ritvika and Chef Metrani.
Thank you.
And our valuable participants, which I believe the number has reached 47, 46. So hi to everyone from all of us. I believe you are having a good time. All right. So panel is open for discussion and questions. Anything you would like to ask Malik sir from any of us? Any question?
Dr. Mani, could I say a few words before we start that any questioning or anything like that?
Please, sir. Please, sir.
If you permit.
Of course, sir.
I also welcome my colleagues on the panel as well as the audience who are watching this particular webinar. And I must compliment Dr. Singh for organizing this particular webinar on World Food Safety Day, uh, particularly addressing vulnerability and maintaining assurance during this COVID era. This is a great day, particularly today is the World Food Safety Day. As on today, we are very much concerned about the food safety. Almost everybody is concerned about the food safety than anything else, because food is something that we consume, and that's one which affects our health. We consume food for our for maintaining our health, but the food should be free from any of the pathogens, toxins, etc. So that we should be more important than anything else. Virus is concerned, of course, virus could be a carrier of that particular virus. So we have to be very sure. I was going through an article by WHO that they have recently published, that is the food as a carrier of the pathogens as well as the uh, virus, several enteric viruses in particularly. So there has not been much work on the enteric viruses. So we have to be very careful because they may cause that because several health issues. These problems, that is the making the food safe, not only dairy products but also all other foods. And of course, as far as the research in this area is concerned, newer techniques are being devised. The new sort of biochemicals or biological materials or the green chemicals are being produced for ensuring the food safety. Take care of that.
Yes, sir, sure. Thank you for asking the question. As we got hit by this pandemic, and also we know that human is the carrier for COVID-19 virus. So it was very much important that the human contact is minimal. So we started with reducing the manpower in the factory itself by coming up to the 50% of manpower working on the shop floor. Also,
Mhm.
temperature detection while you are entering the plant as well as when you are exiting the plant. It's very much
Mhm.
important to go to the temperature monitoring system. And mask is compulsory. We have to hand wash for 20 seconds, sanitize our hands. Every particular places we have sanitizers in place. Also, the places where we have more of human touch. If I say a handrail or a doorknob, if there's more of a human touch, those places are sanitized often. Like they have a frequency of sanitizing. We have particular people sanitizing it, and also the social distancing. So we have not only social distance people on the shop floor, but the places like cafeteria or major places like changing rooms where people gather together. We have also made boxes of 2 meter distances where people have to go and change. So we have taken care accordingly, and also FSSI has released some norms, so we are going by that only. Also, before the lockdown came in place, lockdown 01 came in place, we started with our own measures. Nestle started with our own measures uh, earlier than the lockdown itself, and the measures came in place. So yes, these are the particular things we are taking care of.
Thank you,
Okay, good.
Ritvika.
Uh,
Thank you, Ritvika.
Now, Mani, Dr. Mani, could I ask a question to Chef?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Welcome, Mr. Metrani. I'm happy that you are working with the hotel industry, and that's a important industry, I would say, where you cater to the needs of the guests that come and stay over there in your hotel and resorts. I would like to know that now the time has changed, particularly the things have changed a lot in the post-COVID area because life has changed, I would say. And so under the new, these current circumstances when hotels would be functioning, would start functioning now, what are the things that you would like to assure, or what special measures you would be taking in your hotels so that the guests, those who are who visit, who come over there, uh, they are assured that the food that they are getting
Yes.
or the catering services that they are getting are the best one, and they should feel safe under the current circumstances.
Yeah, very good afternoon, everyone. And it's a very good question, and it's something which is there in today's era. So, thank you, Mr. Malik, Dr. Malik, for letting me answer this question.
Okay.
So, in today's era, I work with Accor Hotels, and Accor Hotels has a worldwide program which has been initiated. It is called as All Safe. So it's a
All safe.
hundred
Okay.
page yeah, it's a all safe program, which is a 100-page program, which is related to the guest safety and also related to the food safety management systems. So it's a 100-page program from where the guest can check in the hotel to the guest departure. So it is all these steps are included in that particular program, and it is very important to follow that program for us because the world is going in a new direction now. It has given a new dimension. COVID has given a new dimension for hoteliers like us to think in a different way, that how we can serve our guests, keeping the DNA same. So I mean DNA same as in we don't want to lose that human touch and respect what we give towards our guests while we serve down to them. However, what are the precautionary measures which needs to be taken now? So the whole world, first of all, I think the first word which comes in the mind when it comes down to the change in the era is all about, it's about the digitalization. So the hotel is going into a complete digital mode right now, where we are going to have a guest who can do a seamless check-in from his phone itself. Previously, there were different steps which would include the guest is to come down to hotel, we used to welcome him, we used to go down to the reception center, he used to fill all his details by the phone. So we have actually taken down all these steps out, where they're going to be directly in touch with the our employees or our managers via a mobile, which is going to be a digital app. You know? So there are various companies which are approaching us, and there is something which is called as Fresh Me, which is trying to collaborate with Accor hotels in India and all across, and we are working with them to take our hotel to a complete new digitalization. So that becomes the check-in, that becomes the contactless menus, that becomes the contactless food orders. The guest, as soon as he comes out of the airport, he can scan the QR codes for our menus or any of the outlets which he wants to visit, and he can actually process and get his order punched via the app, and the order ticket comes directly down to the kitchen with the proper mentioning of time and everything like that. So the first word which comes down is digitalization. Second, apart from post-COVID area, what are the important steps which are going to take down in particularly in terms of the kitchens, you know? So we have ordered certain lot of equipments which we think that will help us for uh, educating our people. You know, the first and foremost, the most important thing was that after this COVID thing happened, was we wanted to educate our vendors and suppliers that how important it is for us to transport the food from the base areas to our hotels, and what are the protocols which has to be followed post you receive down in the hotel. So we have introduced very stringent processes in our receiving areas. Uh, we have ensured that we are not going to allow the trucks anymore to come down to the hotel inside the hotels. We're going to keep it at the hotel gate itself. We're going to implement chefs and the procurement team and the purchasing team to pull up all the material from the receiving area, and it comes down to the receiving on a segregated area. So we have identified the areas differently
So you
where
have
we are gonna.
introduced, Chef, sorry to interrupt. So you have introduced these measures post-COVID. These are the new measures that you have introduced.
No, these measures were present, but there are certain touch points which we need to change out. Like previously, the vendors used to come inside the hotel. So now we are avoiding them to come inside the hotel. They will leave the material outside the hotel, where we have done a docking station. There they kept the material over there, and from there our chefs team and the purchasing teams takes it, comes in the receiving, and then the regular protocol of the receiving starts happening. You know, so if we receive vegetables and fruits, we have a separate vegetable washing area. We wash vegetables with the proper chlorine concentration. If it is a leafy vegetable, it is around 50 ppm. If it is
Hypochlorite solutions.
yeah. So we hypochlorite solution, we use it for the area cleanings, but for chlorine we use it for cleaning of vegetables and the area. So we also introduce something called as deboxing areas. We don't want any pests to come inside the hotel. So we have ensured that we are deboxing all the boxes at the receiving bank itself, and we are gonna just take all the boxes which are present inside the box to avoid any pest infestation inside the hotel.
Yeah,
So
so
that is
these are
something which is
the,
very
I
important.
believe these are the regular measures that are a part of your
Yeah,
FSMS plan, right?
yeah.
So there is
So yeah, this
always
is a part of.
so there's always an FSMS plan for every, I think, food industry, whether it is catering or manufacturing or maybe just packaging. Every organization has to follow that, I believe, right? If I'm
Yeah, that is there. Yeah, apart from this, we are going to introduce, not yet introduced, but because our hotel is about to open now, it is not yet fixed that when we are going to open the hotel, mostly in a 1 month's time after all our preparations are done. So we're going to introduce something called as shoe sanitizers. So these are the mats which are going to present at the receiving areas and all and at all the food processing areas. So all the kitchens will have at the entrance the shoe sanitizer mats, and post that all the gears and everything which we used to follow previously will still follow, like masks, shoe covers, gloves, whatever is required for the food safety. We will still follow that.
all right, all
Apart
right.
from that, we are for the contactless dining in a bigger events, because our hotel is more towards the banquets and mice events. So we are going to introduce something called as the glass kitchens, and
Mhm.
we are doing the sleaze guards in all our areas. So we are what food trolleys and kitchen life trolleys which we have, which we use it for our banquet session. We are going to cover it with the glass, and we're going to cover it with the sneeze guards. So this is going to maintain us from the guests in terms of social distancing. We are slowly taking out the culture of buffet, where we think that we
Sorry,
want to
sorry,
we
please again.
slowly want to, we slowly want to take out the concept of buffets in the hotel, because that is the most easiest thing to do in the hotel. But right now, buffets will get people all together, and it is not a right time to get all people together. So we want to maintain that social distancing as well. So we are going to do as per our plans are as per our occupancy. So we have done plan A for an occupancy, where we are planning now around 20 to 30% of occupancy right now. And if it goes to around 50 to 60% later on, once we are in full business, or maybe up to 80%, we are planning to open up and do a cloud kitchens in different areas of the hotel. So we are not going to limit the food into a one particular area. We want to disperse it across the different areas of the hotel to ensure that guest doesn't come in one area, and they don't actually follow the social distancing norm. So we're going to disperse that in different areas so that they are away from each other and maintain a social distancing.
So how are you all
Okay,
guided?
yeah.
So how are you all guided towards doing all this? Who is, are you being guided by some guidelines, or you are following your own guidelines, or what?
So no. That's what I discussed. We have a 100-page all safe manual which has come down to us, which is from the corporate,
Okay.
and we are following those guidelines from the check-in of the guest to the departure of the guest, and what
Okay.
all other touch points in between which will be coming.
So those
So it is
guidelines are
related to that.
your own guidelines, but Chef, there are government guidelines also post COVID. They
Yes.
have been, yes, they
So
have
that's
been.
what that was my question to Mr.
Okay.
Malik,
Okay.
that
Okay.
that
Yeah, so I can
what
tell
are
you
the
about
different.
that. I can tell you about that because government has also laid its new guidelines for all the sectors, whether it is service or whether it is production. The main guideline that goes is like you have to first, there has to be a temperature check at the very entrance of the organization, any FBO, that is any food and beverage organization. You have to have a temperature check before the person enters your organization. And secondly, if he is above 99 degree Fahrenheit, then he's not allowed to get in. And once he gets in, there have to be, now with COVID-19, the government has instructed to have many more hand washing areas. you know they were earlier also, but now that this COVID has got a very significant role with hygiene, and a very simple step of hand washing can only prevent us from this dangerous organism. People don't value hand washing as much as they should. They don't realize the potency and impact of hand washing in controlling diseases so far in India. So
Yeah,
they
so
have to have.
Dr. Mani, so
Yes.
in terms of our hotel operations, we have introduced something called as the hand hygiene sink,
Okay.
and it has around a temperature. We are not maintaining it with the cold water. We are doing it a hot water temperature. So it is around 38
See,
degrees to
chef, in
41 degrees
all
Celsius,
five
which we are
stars
planning
and
to maintain,
higher,
and that is placed right at the So we
Entrance.
have just introduced that at the entrance of the guest.
Yes.
Previously, what used to happen? Um, all people, those used to enter, they never used to wash their hands. So this is a
Yes.
new introduction in our
Yes.
hotel as well.
Yes.
This is just started a few days back, and it has been introduced right in the front of the guest, right in the front of the staff entrance when the staff is entering.
Yes.
So that is
You are
something which is
very
a new
yes, you
introduction.
are correct.
Plus all
And
the pedal operated, foot operated sanitizers and everything.
yes,
You know.
yes, yes. See, all these things are there in the manuals, and they are there in the textbooks, and they are there also in the regulations and guidelines. But very few organizations follow these guidelines. I believe, 5 stars and higher rating hotels can definitely go and can afford to do that. But what about the smaller segments, smaller hotels? There is a lot of need to create an awareness for all these things. In fact, I have also read that government is also planning an initiative where there will be a bell ringing after every 2 hours. I believe Ritvika must be knowing about it. That there is a bell ringing for hand wash after every 2 hours in any food processing industry from now on. The workers have to simply just go and wash their hands at the ring of bell. Ritvika, are you aware of it?
Yes, yes. So for us, from
I think many hotels still has that. Even my hotel has that. It is a hooter system basically, and every half an hour the hooter system rings, where
Yes.
you need to change your equipment, including water, and
Yes.
you need to change and you need to wash your hands. You know, so that has been implemented few years back. But I think more is all about the education and training right now.
Yeah.
And the
yes,
more the classroom training and more awareness is given to the peer, to our students and the upcoming generation and the hoteliers, it is going to benefit us to achieve our goal that we have to be safe in terms of food safety.
Yeah, actually
yes. So as
food safety has actually taken a different dimension altogether. Food safety was just food safety, so that what people used to understand by food safety was we don't fall ill. That was it. But now food safety, though COVID-19 is not a foodborne infection, but it can be transmitted by human touch. So now people, because it is a
yes,
threat to life, people are becoming extremely careful about it. So this is one. Yes, Ritvika, sorry you were interrupted. So tell me, are you aware of this hooting system, and is it
Agree.
functional in your
yeah. So
organization?
yes, so we do not have the hooting system in particular that we have to go and wash our hands, but yes, we are strictly told, we have all supervisors aware, and the operators are always told that after every 4 hours we have to remove our mask and change our mask and put it in a closed dustbin. We have to continuously wash our hands after every hour. And also, as Chef mentioned, that we have online classes, awareness classes going on. All our leaders are continuously contacting with the people working from home as well and coming to the factories as well, that they are aware and they know how important hand wash is, how important hand sanitization is. Even the demonstration is always going on, that how every part, how important every part is to be cleaned. So as he mentioned that online classes are going on, awareness sessions are going on. This week has been the entirely about food safety only. So yes, it's similar way as Chef told.
Chef,
Okay.
I
Hopefully,
will.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. I would like to just remind that we are left with only 15 minutes, and the participants also have a lot of questions that are coming regarding various aspects of food safety, and I think we can spare 10 minutes in the end for their questions. So, yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
Now,
you can.
yes, sir. Malik sir was saying something. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had just a very small question to the chef. Are there any revised SOPs, particularly in the kitchen as well as in the dining area, in relation to any hygienic measures that additional hygienic measures that you have to adopt? And also, in addition to that, is the staff, your lower staff, being adequately made aware of all these newer steps that are being taken, or the new rules and regulations that have to be observed?
Yeah, so we have intensively carried out trainings for our staff in the hotel. not only food handlers, but to the entire strength of 400 people who was there in the affair. So we made them undergo something called as fast track training, which is taken out by the AFSSI only during this lockdown period. And we have ensured that we have made them go through this training to understand the fact that how important the food safety is, and what are the different protocols which you need to follow post-COVID in terms of hygiene. So we have made them undergo this 2 hours training. We have also found within our hotel something called as health committee. So this is something which is newly introduced. The health committee is very important because all the SOPs which we want to change post-COVID era has been already been introduced. So in terms of kitchen, we have introduced almost like 22 to 24 new SOPs.
Okay.
However, we have not changed completely the older SOPs, but we have added in the older SOPs the new norms what are there in terms of COVID-19. So that has been introduced in that, and we will keep on looking for the new knowledge. We will which will come over the period of time in terms of FSSI. What are the new guidelines are going to come? Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Chef.
Thank
you for the valuable answers. And I am left with just 10 minutes. So, yes, Ritvika.
Okay.
Yes, Ritvika.
Yeah, I have a question for you only.
Okay.
I'm like very curious to know about the food safety. Yeah, it's a general food safety question that do we have any norms for already released products in the market? Like we have got any products such that they are out of standards or they have not followed any norms. So after releasing of the product, do we have such cases?
Yes, there are norms, Ritvika. There are very clearly defined in the ISO standards that sometimes it so happens that the product is released in the market and then the company comes to know that there is a non-conformity to standards, or whether there is a lot of customer complaint. In those cases, ISO has clearly specified that there is a specific measure to take care of it. There is a process of product recall method, that is known as product recall method. You call that product off from your market and from your your main retailers, and then you have to either take care of that product, or you have to either rectify it, and if it is not rectifiable, then you have to destroy it. So is that does that answer your question, Ritvika? Yes, there are standards and norms.
So after a product is released, and they are in the shelves, any sampling can be done and they are analyzed, and if they are out of norm, they are supposed to be recalled. Yes,
yes, definitely. And it happens, it is known as a product recall method. Okay. So I think now I would like to take some questions. So we are left with 5 minutes, sir. Malik sir, we are left with 5 minutes. I would request to take a few questions from the chat, and then we can again discuss if time permits us.
Yeah, sure.
So, there are a lot of questions regarding food spoilage methods to control food spoilage, and there is Mr. Some AP Singh who's asking, Dr. Mani, kindly guide relevance of ISO standards and certification in food safety. Yes, ISO is a very renowned standard for safety of food products. It basically guides the consumer to have safe food. It has clear guidelines to what the food processing should be, and the processing methods. Basically, ISO 22000 is a standard for guiding the food safety management system in the organization, which can keep the product safe. It not just it is applicable to the product, it is applicable to the nutritional labeling, it is applicable to the additives, it is applicable to hygienic practices. They should be in place. There are specific guidelines, and if you are not following those guidelines, then your product does not get this ISO certification, which is a voluntary certification. So if an organization for food product goes for this certification, consumers are more confident for that product. It gives a level of confidence to the product that yes, what I am consuming has been certified by a body, the method has been certified, the product quality labeling is certified, and labeling is certified means it is meeting all the guidelines. So you know whether what I'm eating is safe. The components are safe, because sometimes people are allergic to so many things, and the labels should have allergens as per the ISO guidelines. So allergens have to be mentioned. So people who are very conscious, they would definitely go for these kind of certifications. Products can also go for BIS mark, like food products. They also have ISO certification. Potable water certification is there. bottled water certification is there. Water that is being used in the making of the food, uska certification number alag hai. So there are, and ice and steam, even ice and steam ka jo food contact mein aa rahi hai, whether it is ice or steam, uska bhi ek certification number hota hai. So these are the guidelines that people should be aware of and they should look for when buying a product.
Yeah, that gives the additional confidence to the consumer. That is the basic objective.
Yes.
Yes, I think you have rightly answered this particular question, and it is very, very important.
So I think we are almost finished with the time, but there is Dr. Mani, I would like to request for comments from all panelists to comment on food safety at home. Ms. Ritvika can comment on packaging, ready to eat food. Chef, if time permits, can comment on food delivery precautions that we can take. So these are the questions. I think they are relevant questions which everybody wants to know these days. Anybody can.
And I have got a small question that particularly in this post-COVID era, we are concerned about the at home when we buy vegetables or when we buy fruits, etc. How to treat them before we consume them, before putting them in fridge. I think that is very, very important.
Very important.
As on today.
Yes, sir. So the best way is to keep them untouched and unused for at least 2 days, if it is possible, because as we know, COVID is destroying self-destructive bacteria which dies in a span of 24 to 48 hours. And then we can first wash it and then again wash our hands, wear gloves while washing those vegetables. And as a chef also suggested, we can use chlorinated water. And we can use simple water also, but we are not recommended to use soap with water for vegetables and fruits. We can definitely use soap and water solution for all milk packets and all, food products that come in waterproof packaging. So we can wash with soap and water solution for all those packets. Yes, the questions were directed to Chef.
I would like I would like to add just one thing, that when we buy vegetables or fruits and before we putting them in the refrigerator, before consuming them, it's better we dip them in a very light alkaline solution, maybe
Yes,
light detergent solution. And what the basic objective is, that is to inactivate the receptors on the virus, so that once they get inactivated due to alkali, so they are not able to attach. Even if they are there, so they are not able to attach in our system.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I think that's a very, very significant query that was, and you have answered it quite well. Because this COVID definitely is very dangerous. We cannot deny it. But the best part about COVID, best part about coronavirus is that it is easily destroyed by soap and water. So the best part is it is easy to handle. Yeah. It's not like other viruses which are very difficult to handle. So if just an awareness is created.
So the last question probably, which was asked to me about the food delivery.
Yes.
So this has two aspects now.
Asked.
So we have made, So one there are two aspects in this. One, we have taken 100% approach towards having takeaways in a very smaller quantities. And when we do any kind of a takeaways from the hotel, we are going to mention all the details, the person who made the food, what are his temperature when he was making it, what is the temperature of person who delivered to him. And we are trying to develop something called as insulated boxes within the hotel. So these insulated boxes will be used to maintain the temperature of the food and for the food delivery, not only in terms of packaging of the food, but also in terms of delivery. So there are two insulated boxes. One is for the packaging of the food and one will be for the delivery of the food. So that is in terms of the takeaways which goes outside. What about the food service which is done inside the hotel? So the room service is going to completely have a new design altogether. We're going to pack this similarly in insulated boxes or Indian tiffins or bento boxes or small kind of any packaging material which will come down to us. And we're going to do it in a plastic, we are not in a plastic because we are a plastic free hotel. We're going to do it in a paper bags and we are going to deliver this outside the door. And we are also going to mention the same details what we are going to mention on the food packaging in terms of temperature, who is going to make it. So we are trying to do as much as traceability in terms of what is possible traceabilities, which guests might ask later on to us who made and what happened and everything like that. So we're going to give that information to them right in in when we are going to deliver that order. Plus, we are going to also place small sanitizers in the bags, so that is something
Okay.
which is very
Thank you.
important.
Thank you, Chef. There's another question from Manvik Joshi. He's saying, what precaution consumers should keep while using ready-to-eat products? Are they safe? So I think, yes, they are safe. Same precautions you need to follow. Yes, Ritvika, you can.
Yeah, while the product is produced, manufactured in the factory, as I already mentioned, that all the measures have been taken. Hand wash, face mask is very much compulsory. We cannot go in the production area or in the factory. We not come into the premises without face mask even. Hand wash, sanitization is very much compulsory. So from our end we are very much taking care that from human contact, no such virus can be carried to the material. And also, yes, our vendors, also the delivery partners, the distribution channel we have coordinated with them also and made sure that the transportation which is done is much safer. The drivers have been guided and all. So it's the entire value chain which needs
It's
to
a
be aware.
entire
Yes.
supply chain. Actually, what you have to cover is
Yes.
the entire.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ritvika. There's one question. I think last question we can take up. We are left with 3 minutes. Dr. Malik, it's directed towards you from Dr. Romi Jain and to everyone else. She or he has congratulated you for the brilliant speech, sir, and has asked whether there are any developed nanosensors designed for integration into packaging material which can act as noses for food spoilage. So this is quite an interesting question, sir. This is directed towards you, sir.
As far as my information goes, some nanosensors are being developed at Indian Institute of Technology at Roorkee. There's a group of people under the guidance of Dr. Naveen Navani at IIT Department of Biotechnology. They are developing such nanosensors for the detection of these pests.
Okay.
Definitely.
They're not in practice right now, sir. In the market, they are not in practice.
No, not yet. But they have developed. I think very recently. I'm in touch with them, and they have developed such nanosensors. And I would like to inform that they have developed one mask also with some nanosensor particles over there, and that can be sprayed over there before you go out, and that will take care of all those things. And there is a particular formulation for that, and that might come to the market very soon. So they are from the very beginning,
wonderful.
even during this lockdown period, a group of people, researchers, were working in that lab, and they have risen to the occasion, and they have developed such nanosensors. Definitely.
Thank you, Dr. Malik. Thank you so much. And I believe some valuable researches are really going to save all of us from this pandemic very soon. And yeah, we all will be safe again like before. And with small measures, we are still safe, and we will always stay safe with some small measures that if we can take care of. So I would
Dr.
like
Mani,
to
I would also like
yes,
Dr. Mani, I would also like to felicitate you and congratulate you for holding this webinar. I think this is a wonderful step. It's a very pragmatic approach where we need to make people aware about it.
Yes, sir.
So awareness is very important. Instead of getting any false information, it's good that people get the right information,
and
they should not get they should not get scared about anything. Rather, this is the time when they should take the precautions, and precaution is the only solution, as concluded.
Yes, sir.
And I must congratulate you for holding this seminar. This is the right time, I think, very pertinent time.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is mutual. I would like to thank all of you also to participate.
Thank you.
You all are also,
And I also thank Ritvika. I would like to thank Ritvika and Chef Mr. Prashad. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Really, it was a really nice panel discussion, and I could get to know a lot, particularly from Chef, and who's really working in the field and has made aware us about the several issues that are in this hospitality industry. So this is a particularly very, very important, so that the guests feel safe I think we are much more learned today with his
Yes, sir.
remarks, with his
Yes, sir.
so explanation that he has given us.
Yes, sir.
And also about Ritvika, she is working in an important industry, and particularly handling very sensitive food that is for the infants. Thank you for the Ritvika also, and for
Thank
you,
you so much,
Thank
Money.
you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So finally, I would like to thank everyone to be a part of this webinar. All the participants who have participated, thank you so much. And I would again like to thank all three of you, Malik sir, Ritvika and Chef Prasad. Thank you so much for
My
spending
pleasure.
your time and creating this awareness among people, which I was really looking forward to, do something like this. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a
That
great
Thank you
money,
for
I hope
counting me in.
that money, I hope we would have many more such seminars in the coming days.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, we'll have it. I
I,
believe today's response has also been quite good. And I am
Yes.
looking at the messages, and messages are also saying the same thing. So I think we will have to plan more, sir. You are right.
yeah, it's a very good initiative. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
it's in the national interest, in fact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Thank
all the
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
participants.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Ritvik.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye,
Thank
bye,
you so
Pasha.
much.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
Dr.
bye.
Malik.
All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Mani.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, bye, man.